Welcome, folks, back, to Shadow of the Road. The latest, CRPG, which is computer RPG for those unaware. Yes, I am aware that there is no sound on this main screen. It's very weird. This is the latest one from Owlcat Games. I believe they were the developers behind the Pathfinder games, at least the first one. I believe the second one as well. Both of which I think were received pretty well. Also the first CRPG that let me build my ideally favored type of wizard, which I think has a name now. I believe it's called being a battle mage. It's just not a common build in like older versions of D&D in particular. It's like they, especially the computer versions, just do not support that at all. Pathfinder's the first CRPG I found that let me build it. Like they've got an entire subclass devoted to it, which is amazing. This one, as we can clearly see, is set in a sort of Japan-esque setting, which is unusual for a CRPG. Most of those are more medieval Europe. Perhaps the most interesting thing is, and this is a weird thing, this is the entire graphics settings. It is not much at all. Like, at all. And audio, this is all there is. Like, there is no music. And this is basically the entire camera controls. I saw advertisements for this, and I was like, ooh, a CRPG from Owlcat, and it's like, wait, they're advertising this? That's always interesting. I believe it's the actual developer is called Another Angle Games. Let's open up. Yes. Yes. And it is currently... And there is no release date, so it is still in active development. We'll see how it actually turns out. The demo's got mixed reviews, but with a CRPG, that could mean anything. Could mean it's still bug-ridden. I mean, I expect as much. It is version 0.21.11. Build 1766 as of April. Wow. Only April. Yeah, 1st of April. So they've definitely had time to work on additional builds. Whether or not they've got more builds for the demo, maybe not. They're probably working on the full game, trying to get that done. Maybe they'll update the demo at a later point. I would not be surprised. These are smaller developers. In fact, Owlcat as a publisher is a smaller publisher. So I'm not surprised at all if they're taking their time trying to focus on the game and getting the game good, and they'll worry about updating the demo later. I will not fault an indie dev for not updating the demo. I like it if they do, if they can. But if they can't, well, you're an indie dev. You've got to focus on the main game first. I'd like you to keep the demo up to date, but I understand that's not always possible. Vertical slices are vertical slices, and unless it's a big... like CES, a big press thing like CES or something like that. It wouldn't be CES, but you know, unless you're doing something like that, I understand why you wouldn't want to necessarily put all your focus in on that. This is not the Nippon you know. It takes place at the fall of the Edo period. Some of these changes occurred in reality, many others are unique. While great care has been taken to research and explore these areas with sensitivity, characters, locations, and events do not reflect their real-life counterparts. Welcome to Shadow of the Road. Another angle. That's actually a pretty cool logo, to be honest. $1868. Nice. That's always good to have happen. Clearly the technology has taken an unusual route. We saw that mechanical scorpion, and those were like modern AKs. So definitely the technology in this late 19th century. I think you did mention. Yeah, I figured that you had a reason for that opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I figured you had an opinion, a reason for that opinion, and that makes sense. It's always good to get commissioned for art. I've not practiced my art in a long time, so I guarantee I'm not as good as I should be. I should pick it back up and get back to it. Satoru and Akira arrive at a well-traveled ryokan, a half-day's march from Edo. Yeah. At least you realized it before you got too deep into the debt pile. Unfortunately, not everyone was quite so lucky. Yeah, Akira is surprisingly pale for 19th century Japan. Like, surprisingly pale. I'd say that's a... This is a CRPG, which is a computer RPG, similar to Baldur's Gate from... Yeah, it is set in 1868 Japan, but with some unique twists. Like we saw, the technology, for some reason, has exploded. Unfortunately, there's no spoiled king. This is the emperor of 1868, and something has caused technology to get super advanced. I mean, they've got walking robotic spider tanks and modern AKs in the 19th century. So something has gone really interesting. Okay, and if you need specific explanations as to what specific words mean, they are highlighted. That's pretty good for someone who, if someone isn't familiar with that. Oh, no, we won't see her, but we might see others. There's no telling. The Shinai, which are standard bamboo training swords. Bamboo swords, yeah, I believe those are Shinai. Balkans are the wooden equivalent ones. Bokuto. Bokuto, Balkan, modern words are different. Wound given in training is a wound taken from the battlefield. That does sound like a saying a samurai would say. Yeah, these two failed to protect their lord, and now he's dead, and so now they're, with no lord to serve, they are now ronin. In an era when samurai are becoming, well, not only obsoleted, but technology, they've not embraced it, which was not what samurai were doing back in that time period. An onryo. Alright, yep, those were most of the demons, most of the big ones in near Onryo. Honor can be restored. This is a thing. If you die with or without honor, you are now dead. If you run, yeah, you may lose honor and face, but you can restore that. Okay. Choices with and relationship stats. That's interesting. Kamito, ways of the way of the kami. Okay, interesting. Oh, they knew what they were signing up for. It's just... it's a complicated matter when you've got a... It's complicated when you're dealing with an honor-based culture. It's the same problem Klingons have in Star Trek. Is, yeah, you don't want to run because that's cowardly, but if you do, you can be victorious another day, and then you can reap even more honorable rewards. And here's probably the most interesting thing. We'll see, because these are both considered samurai. These are both samurai. The primary weapon of a samurai was not the swords. It was the bow and the spear, primarily the bow, specifically from horseback. I will not see you come to harm alone. Okay, so there's a samurai path. Interesting. I mean, that is kind of the thing. It's just bows were also overtuned in... Bows were just kind of overtuned in Romancing Saga 2, because they had one of the few guaranteed to hit everything on the battlefield skills, and they scaled surprisingly well. Kobayashi Kichi. Ah, there's some local samurai here who will keep order. Yeah, no. Yeah, this is one of the weird things about Japan. This is even true today. And it's I guess it is a cultural thing. However, for some reason they're like the only country that can really get away with this, and that is saying if you're not Japanese, you are outsiders, and they have specific words for that, and it refers to anyone not from the islands. In fact, for a while it didn't... Yeah. I mean, Noel was particularly bad at a couple of points. But... in fact, for a while it referred to even people from Okinawa, because they technically were a separate culture from the rest of Japan until they were forcibly assimilated. And even now, they're still kind of their own separate entity. I will say, though, he's holding that sword terribly wrong. I mean, that is not how you hold a sword, not even close. I mean, it should be coming from up here. Like, he is holding that barely with his thumb. I mean, that's broken wrist. That's a grip that will not work. Ah, most of the other, at least the main character can hold his sword correct. Alright, combat tutorial, tactics role-playing game, rewards careful planning. Captain controls the timeline, movement, and skills, yes. Q and E to rotate. Okay, and we see the health bar, the health on the enemies. These two have 12. Most of the enemies have not a lot. He's already been wounded prematurely. Ooh, you have 40, so that's the big boss. That's gonna be a fun one. Scroll wheel in and out for zoom. Okay, and it does have full cover and partial cover. Interesting. According to the order in the timeline, we can always see it. The samurai gets 2 turns, then Keiichi does, then Satoru. That rifleman, I think, is going to be a problem. Okay, an attacks of opportunity occurs when you try and run from combat. That's typical for a D&D type game. Yep, that's fairly typical. Traversing, okay, yep, the grid. 1 movement point per tile. Okay. And he's got a possible 6 movement points, as we can see in the lower right. And so he could move up to 6. And I'm thinking the other 2 icons down here are probably action points. So I imagine it uses an action point system. Each attack uses their skills, uses action points, yep. Ah, there it is. In the lower right, in the lower bit down here. 1 action point. And he does have a move that can do 2. That uses 2 and it uses both of his blades. Interesting. Four to 5 damage, that's to be expected. I think you need to kill 2 enemies in order to unlock using Twin Blade. Okay, and back attacks do more damage. That's good. Rifleman. Oh, there's multiple riflemen. Oh. Okay, riflemen have to aim before they shoot. That's one way to balance guns. That's a good way to do it, too. Looks like these local riflemen are a problem, potentially. Combatants can destroy cover. Okay, well-placed shot is his aim. Fire target. Target is obscured. Because it's a far target, that drops our damage down. Delayed attack, they're vulnerable. Breaks an attack. Okay, so if they're channeling an attack, cool. They can, you can basically interrupt them. That's an interesting way of doing it. That way they don't... So that way they don't get a chance to necessarily act like that. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of damage there. Oh, he's got a multi-shot pistol. That could be annoying. Often come with unique drawbacks or conditions for use. Once 2 enemies have been killed. That's what I thought. And this will kill him because it's 5 by 6 minus 2. Times 2. Okay, in our inventory. Let's have a look. Okay, we don't have anything special. Like, this is all locked, so I can't even look at it right now. That's fine. Well, that's a camera angle. Oh, this other samurai is doomed. Yep, very, very doomed. So you need to make sure he's positioned well away from enemies. Guns also apparently need reloading. That's pretty good. That was dumb. Right. Attacks of opportunity. I should have just done the double attack. That should put me behind cover. Excellent. He's being very cowardly and running. But so is his master. His master has fled the battle altogether. Out of range. That's to be expected, I suppose. Go! Need to make sure not to die. Yep, he's gonna run around and reload with his 1 HP. Need to try and survive. Come out here. Target is obscured. No, he's not. Now that he's dead. KT delivers a staggering strike that shifts his turn right ways. Ooh. Shift moves. Goal. God. It's a bad thing that we have such a Oh, God. God. Like, Keiichi's so close to dead. Okay, break him. And that's also a delayed move. Shifted. Some skills allow you to score or the score to be manipulated directly. It's leader's call, reducing the time interval of him and his opponent. Okay. Problem is Keiichi has like no HP. Like he really, really doesn't. But this will kill him, which is the most important thing. That's not good. Because Keiichi's dead next turn. I know he is because of the back attack. The back damage. Oh, his gun only does 2 damage. Yeah, his gun only does 2 damage. So he's not necessarily a problem. And if I did, he'd get a chance to flee before I did it. Might as well see what you do. He did break. That's a problem. I should have known he was going to do that. The only thing Keiichi doesn't have is like a really good way of dealing a lot of or any real damage. I shouldn't say a lot of damage. I've got no way of healing him, and that's a problem. And he shifted. Oh God, Keiichi's almost dead. He's quite literally almost dead. Which means it's all up to you, other Ronin with the bow. It's really up to you. Okay. He reloads. Okay. What is a good thing we could do? That would be afterwards, so that's a dumb idea. Do both of those. Keiichi cannot do anything at all. He needs to survive, and that's the problem. He's got no HP. So it's a battle of the archers. This becomes a battle of the archers. God, he keeps running. He just keeps running. I'm hoping this will work. He's obscured. Dang it. Now he's gonna get 2 attacks off. Bugger. However, he's now put himself in a bad position where Keiji can just twin strike him. There we go. Oh, and that was a kill assist. Oh, that was close. Very nearly got the tutorial character killed. Well, tutorial character or possibly one of the main characters. Tayasu. He's one of the older samurai. I was gonna say, the voice acting sounds appropriate. Timed choices. This is amazing. This is a good choice. Go for it. This is what samurai do. Regardless of who he was working for, he was still acting as a samurai. Takeko Tayasu. He was not one to openly praise. He was a man of very withheld praises. That's pretty standard of even still a lot of Japanese households. Most Asian households in general. See, and that's one of the weird things about a lot of this type of mythology set in this period, is they often depict it as a traditions versus technology of the outside thing, when honestly the samurai openly embraced firearms very, very much so. Like, not only did Oda Nobunaga embrace firearms, his successors, Ieyasu, was also very much a, ooh, these firearms are pretty cool. So, that's a thing. Boiled in a clay pot alive. Ooh. That is exceptionally cruel. How did you know we were here? Ah, Tokugawa exists, huh? Yoshinobu. Interesting. I didn't realize the Tokugawa clan had heirs, but that would make sense. The Tokugawa clan... Yeah, they would, yeah. Yeah, if the Lord asks for Ronin's presence, you can serve another Lord. You are Ronin, you are lordless. That doesn't mean you can't serve another Lord and stop being Ronin. The son of an old friend. Not with Shinobi running in the background. And based on the fact this game is called Shadow of the Road, it likely takes place entirely during this journey. Yeah, if he's so important, why would you not send your guards? Well, the guards are probably more easily monitored, and two Ronin likely can just wander with less general scrutiny. Not necessarily. Less fanfare, I should say. Fukuri. I didn't get a chance to read that full name. In free exploration, filled with secrets and adventures. A journal is essential for tracking progress. Okay, here we go. List of characters, including our particular main characters. 10-year-old boy was an orphan. Smallpox epidemic, yep, that tracks. Akira. His paleness is a bit of an oddity. Huh. Tokugawa shogunate began in 1603 under Yoshinobu. Current one is the latest of the line. Who was the first one? Tokugawa. Ieyasu. It was Ieyasu. It's because it's Tokugawa Ieyasu. I forgot it was Ieyasu. Served under Nobunaga. I think it's his right-hand man, and took over after Nobunaga's assassination. I think. ENC. Are we going to get an explanation as to what that stands for? No, probably not. Notes. Edo period, Edo day. Your excuses are shameful, failing your duties. Your child is hungry. Return with prosperity or not at all. Ooh. Interesting. Would appear equipment is not particularly a thing. Okay, that's unusual. This thing ran off this direction. That hat thing. Oh, there's several of the hat things. What are these things? What are you things? With your hats? What are you? They dance. A merchant, yep. Ame Furikozo. Okay, so it's similar to those shrine things from Neo. Interesting. Yes, yokai. In a lot of English dubs of anime, that is, they'll either use yokai or the generic term demon. But yokai can be beneficial or otherwise. They're just supernatural beings. That's all they are. Okay, the little ones are just gonna let us pass now. Possibly. Ooh, extract. Items, yep. Items can be used. Ah, here we go. Ah, an HP healing. And each character gets their own high inventory. And, oh... Well, that's a minor broken thing. That's a minor broken script there. Okay, that's the estate. That was the direction where we're generally going. Never in a CRPG necessarily stick to the straight and easy and ordinary path. You never know what kind of secrets you can find by straying off the main path. Let's have a look. Some pottery. Of Amaterasu Omikami. Of Amaterasu. Some tea. Some extracts. It could all come in handy. However, we are honorable samurai, even though we are Ronin. Interesting. I mean, that's one way to do choices. That's definitely some interesting choices. And this is the estate. Powder. Ah. Don't know what that headband can be used for. Clearly not for equipment purposes. And might as well put a Toki extract on you, because you might need it at some point. Left in a hurry. That's never a good thing. It's never a good thing when people have to depart in a hurry. Especially when they're felling wood. And then they suddenly need to leave. It's also slightly suspicious, I would say, that they're giving us all these healing items now, but that is to be expected. We know what lies down that path. The body of the merchant. What lies over here? An old pier. Very old and dilapidated. Clearly no one's used it in a long time. And this is a... something to ward off evil with. Umoda Sato. Of course. We could have threatened him, but that would not do us... that would not do us any good. Wow, this man does not appreciate him. Ah, so that is his mother. He is being exceptionally rude, even for the time period. I kinda want to do that, but that would be showing disrespect to him. Possibly making enemies. Yeah, that will only turn them against us. But we will be leaving anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Skill points. Okay, here we go. Skill trees. Each character has one. And yep, this is a standard skill tree. Okay, we already know Leader's Call. 25% chance of bleed. Which is 3 turns of 1 damage. Good. Ooh, a dashing attack. A dashing rush. That could be good. Still not sure I fully understand how the shifting works, like the interval thing. But I think a rush would be good. Okay, they've got perk points. Okay. And we can equip certain points. Okay. And with you have your choice of quick draw arrow, shifting your turn by 2. For 6 to 8 damage. A 3 on the delay, though, huh? Probably that. We'll make sure we have everything equipped. Okay. Well, that went as well as to be expected, to be honest. This man was never a great individual when it comes to, well, being a good human being. Especially towards, well, I was going to say towards a child that isn't his, but still. He could be a bit better about it. A sakura tree, or so it's a cherry tree. The tree has seen better days. That is fine. That is fine that you have your eyes on me. Can items... Whoa. Whoa, was not expecting to destroy fences by walking into them. That's unusual. So items are not automatically highlighted. They must be walked somewhat near. The boy is by the koi pond, you say? Pupper! Look at that pupper! Look at him. Look at the dog. I wonder who we would report to the death of the merchant to. It would appear... Well, not the main man, not the man of the house. For he is, well, not a great individual. And also would not be surprised if he did not care at all. That man rubs me the wrong way. Yes. This place is not in great repair. Like at all. Like even their little garden there has seen better days. Good sir, you look acceptable. There's a merchant by the lake. Excellent. We've got some balm on that. Removing burn. Oh, great. Burn is probably going to be a status effect at some point, and that's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but necessarily, but... The fact there's no sort button is a minor annoyance. Minor annoyance. Yeah, even these walls have seen better days. Yeah, this place has not been well kept in the slightest. Either this lord has, like, no money, or he really does not care. Like, for his estate or anything to speak of. Note. This guy may be a loyal lord of the shogunate, but he clearly does not maintain his people or his estate, like, at all. No clue what he spends his money and time on, but clearly not truly anything proper. Ishida. I mean, he's not truly father, but yes. Bochan. Now this man has seen better. Is a powerful individual. Toshiro. He is a wall of a man. He's also my friend, although he is smaller than yours. I will bounce around from samurai to ronin, depending on how I feel. Because even the straight-faced man can crack a joke. Yes. No doubt you are being watched. Ah, the pale face. By Tsukiyomi Suji. A hereditary witch. Yeah, being the pale-faced man, that definitely is unique. Ah, a shinobi. Oh, and here's the weird thing is we've been bouncing around responses from multiple characters, so this is definitely an interesting way to tell of a story. Let us have a little fun on our way. He is large. He's very large. An odachi. Well, so he's using a two-handed sword. So that's yes. I'd say yeah, that's about right. He can charge. And headbutt and stun enemies. That's good. Slow though, that turn interval. He's a tank though. Oh, there's an enemy. And that will shove him really far. By 5. So that... Okay, so... Okay, so it's a physical number. Okay, now I understand the shifting a bit better. We can manipulate foes before they attack. Okay. Shift our people. And then if I use Biting Wind... Ah, he's outside of range. That man is just outside of range. He, on the other hand, is not. Okay, and that's a dash through the enemy. Interesting. But we don't get an attack of opportunity? Oh, flamethrower. I see those shinobi. They are going to be a problem. Break you. And just kill you. Like, I don't want to deal with you if I can help it. That will cause me to go through the fire. I really don't want to go through the fire. So we will come over here. That was not the exact location I wanted. This was actually the location. The shinobi over here. Flamethrower man. This will probably kill him. No. Both of these are considered far targets? Interesting. And he just stays put. That is of an annoyance. That is, in fact, an annoyance. Out of range. Let us dash through them. Call to reinforcements. Of course they have. And of course they are arriving shortly. And that's where they're going to be coming from. I cannot fire around cover. That is probably one of the most annoying things. Is our inability to specifically okay, healing shrine. Oh, and because we beat the enemy without... Oh, and because we beat them before reinforcements arrived. Okay. So if I'd waited too long, enemies' reinforcements would have arrived. Unfortunately, it seems like not everyone else made it out alive. Like, no one made it out alive. Oh. Yep. Of course no one made it out alive. And that door's still closed. Hey, they even got him. It's weird, though, that the shinobi... Well, not necessarily weird. Shinobi were on both sides of any conflict. Okay, on Mirth. Cold-hearted, warm-hearted. Samurai and Ronin. Okay, so these are personality traits. That's what's going on. Dead. Unlikely. Oh. What are you, Asuke? You are clearly not human. Granted, clearly not the time. You are correct. It is time to leave. Our Tonto. Cursed hair. And pulling. Ooh. Pulling allies. So they move faster. Okay. Big man. Likely is gonna need some healing. Hairpins and a Tonto. I imagine Big Man's gonna really need the healing, potentially. Mother or manipulator? Ooh. That has implications. Like, that has straight up implications. Not necessarily good ones, either. Oh no, the doggo! We need to let the dog out. He can't get through. Shoot the crate down. Dog must be safe. Hopefully that did not cause us additional problems. A loyal dog could be a useful ally. We are not the one at fault, old man. The blood is awakening. Whatever unusual blood is in him. I mean, granted, the old man deserves it, but... Oh, God! So Ginby, he's a summoner of sorts. Unfortunately, I imagine it's not going to be friendly towards us or the others. Ooh. It has a lot of health. Holy gall. Look at all those eyes. Ooh. Like, we're not even gonna get a chance to act. I do not like Eye Man. I do not like Eye Thing. I do not know what it is planning on doing. But whatever it is not going to be pretty. Target node. Okay, and your skill has been broken. I knew that was going to be a problem. Baton. And that's him. We will get a chance to go before him. Perfect. Oh, you stupid bugger. I should have known he was going to do that. He attacks indiscriminately, but he's not attacking us. Like, it is not attacking oh, no, it's not. Well, I was about to say that, but I think it did just attack us. No, it did not. It has a lot of attack points. It's you. Like, you can't really do anything this turn, so move everyone up. Okay, it is her turn. Which explosion is gonna go off? Oh, of course it's gonna be him. Move you out of there. That did not do what I thought it did. And that's based on the number of enemies killed. She's got no more action points. It's probably a good idea to move her. Okay, a heal. Okay, it was that one that went off. It's not dealing a lot of damage to the enemies. So there is that. That would not be a good move. And you need to be moved. Finally, Ishin gets a move. You do not get to go anywhere for a while, good sir. I'll let them take out a little bit of his health before we concern ourselves with the demon. It's not a lot of good cover, though. Not a lot of good cover. God, those volcanoes do a lot of damage. They may actually be able to kill it before we get a chance to, which would be fine. Oh no. It is doing something. It is setting more traps. "15 units. That is going to explode. And that'll kill him. Like, there's no way that... Yeah, 2 to 4. That won't kill him. Weirdly. That will, in fact, not kill him. But that will do substantial damage to him. Which would be fine. You just go here. That's fine. Yep, that did, in fact, blow up. Did not kill him, but that's fine. Fine, believe it or not. Don't want to get involved in fire if I can help it. How do we want to approach this? Because these guys are all up here. Again, that 4 damage. And that would immediately put him in harm's way. Though he would get to go before anything else. I think that will be worth it to take the damage. Target node. It's generally the node like behind him. Can't use that move. Well, I can't really do anything from here. Yeah, can't really do anything from there. That would make us go after it, which is not what we want. Okay, everyone get some HP back. It's setting more explosions. That is fine. There we go. These shinobi have kind of been stuck. Okay, so he literally cannot do anything against him because the target node would be behind him. In there. Well, we kinda can't really do anything then, can we? It is her turn. That will be the next one to go. Oh, attack of opportunities. You get that. You also get knifed. Eat knife. Okay, cannot get around it. We still cannot rush you. That is fine. Oh, bugger. I didn't realize he was still alive. The fact he's still alive is a minor problem. A very, very minor problem that we will address momentarily. Very, very momentarily. We could address remaining guy down here, but I don't think he's alive. We're the only ones alive, so he's got no one else to attack but us. Oh, that's a lot of explosions that are going to be going off. Dude! That was not a move I was expecting. Oh, and the eyes go next. Oh, lots of eyes. They have only one health, though. She has fallen? Oh, that was rude. Not only did it knock her into the water, now she's in the fire, and it gave her two... Well, that was exceptionally rude of you. Oh, so we do have to watch out for those, because they instantly do that. Still cannot do... Still cannot rush you. Okay, he just died. With a shift. Okay, that did give us a heal, which is good. Now we're in close combat, so we don't have any choice, really, other than to slice and dice. Let's see if I did a spirit pull on you. Put a spirit pull on you. I do need her out of the fire, though. She's currently on fire, so that's not good. It will be dead next turn. Before it gets to go. Hopefully the eyes get to murder. Eyes do not matter. And because it's going to explode, that should kill its brother. It oddly did not. Hitodamas. Well, they don't do a ton of damage, to be honest. Oh boy, the boy. What is he? He clearly summoned that yokai. That's true. A priest. Well. Well, that makes sense for a good spot to end the demo. You get a lot of very good, very clear indications of the combat and what it involves, including the introduction of both what the boy theoretically can do and why he's both going to be a help and a hindrance along this journey. Though I do wonder exactly how long of a journey this is. It's called Shadow of the Road, so I imagine it is the entire journey to Edo. But it may go beyond that. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. Anyway, as I said, there's been no price announcement at all on Steam. All there is a to-be-announced release date, which is fine. Apparently, choices will in fact have an impact. It's always something a lot of them promise, but they don't necessarily follow through. Although this one, it might be possible. What'll be really interesting things is how much of a possibility do you have of just utilizing the specialty outside of Japan technologies. That's the most interesting thing. Yeah, the dynamic turn order is very interesting. Okay, they had an open alpha back in March. Okay. So this has actually been in development for a while. They've got news posts going back a while. Like a while. So this has been in development for a while. So this is a passion project from a fairly small team, which I'd expect to be. We did notice some minor issues, some looping animations that weren't the greatest. The voice acting sounded to me, as someone who doesn't speak naturally Japanese, but who follows several Japanese streamers. It sounded appropriate and sounded accurate enough to me, based on what I know. Which is not a lot, but it is definitely some things I know. Some things I know. I'm a little bit of an otaku, but not a huge one. Okay, I mean, pretty massively an otaku, but not the worst in the world. Let us not lie. Like I said, no pricing, no planned release date, which is fine for a small team. Definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on, especially now that they've started pushing it with advertisements that I've been seeing. That'll definitely be something to really, really keep an eye on, I think. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Whether or not a CRPG such as this interests you or not, that is to be seen. I do want to see what kind of flexibility there is in the entire skill tree, because it looked like they had the entire skill trees planned out, but we just don't get to see what those abilities are in the demo, which is fine. But I'd like to see them. What kind of flexibility do you give me? Also, the entire personality thing, what does that do? Like, it's very reminiscent of what Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2 did with the light and dark side of the Force aspects. But the question is, how are you going to lean into that? Because Knights of the Old Republic made it very clear what the bonuses were for going all one direction or all another. This one, it's less clear. But there's definitely possibilities here. So, next stream is going to be Turok 2 on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Turok is an interesting series, and I'm excited to get through at least Turok 2 before October. Hopefully we can get through Turok 2 and 3. Not gonna play Origins right away. If not, we'll probably play Turok 2, then 3. Well, we'll play Turok 2 and 3, one, then the other. And then we'll be jumping into Neo 2. Just to try and get that out of the way before Neo 3 comes around. The one game from Team Ninja we won't see that's technically adjacent to Neo is Rise of the Ronin. That's a game I'm going to play on my own time because that's entirely open world. Of course, Neo 3 is also expected to be open world, but Rise of the Ronin just doesn't have the fantastical elements that Neo does. Hopefully, Neo 2 turns out to be, I don't want to say better balanced. Let's hope it goes smoother than what some of our Neo 1 experiences were. Especially towards the end when I got into the DLC. Neo 1's DLC, if you're not, even if you are appropriately geared, it's just, I found it frustrating. That's all I will say. I've never dropped a game's DLC so hard. If you have a chance to look at that stream, that was after we finished the main stream of Neo. So it's like it's the last stream of Neo. You'll see that we fought the main boss. It was an epic fight. I was out of my main healing items. I only had secondaries. We beat the final boss. We got the weapons that weren't as good as the weapon I was using. So it's like these divine weapons. They're not great. I could grind out for more on my own, and Neo is an entirely level and gear-based game. But I didn't, so I jumped right into the DLCs, because it should have been fine. Like, the divine weapons are supposed to be these super powerful weapons. They weren't really, in comparison to what I was using with my Odachi, and then those enemies, the new enemies they introduced in the DLCs were just designed to be counters to every other playstyle in the game. Like, straight up, they were counters to the playstyles the game had incentivized you to use up until that point. And that's what got me. Because it's like, okay, these big yokai, they tend to be large, they tend to be lumbering. They were also very fast in their attacking, so they were no longer lumbering, they were just fast. And worse than just the ninjas that were large, they were extremely large, extremely fast like the ninjas, but worse. It's like, and they had no easy weak point. And the other ones, the snake things, just... The game had incentivized you to headshot enemies at a distance. Not with those. Like, those guys, you just don't. Just don't engage. Like, they could reach for miles on top of a ranged attack, and if you shot their heads off, well, then you just kind of created a terror for yourself. And then the boss was just... The boss was bad. But that's my problems with Neo 1's DLCs. That's neither here nor there. I'm hoping Neo 2 better balanced, and I'm hoping the DLCs for Neo 2 are better balanced. I'm going to submit a survey for the demo. But we'll see everybody tomorrow for Turok 2. And that'll be the last stream for the week. So I'll have the schedule up and posted as soon as I get it done for next week.